Other interesting political news, the United Auto Workers rally to elect Harris Walz and gets a little bit of critique in the comment section. And this is yet another reason why I usually put the United Auto Workers, or the UAW, in the political part of the podcast, because they're one of the most influential political groups out there. Technically, they're the union for the auto working community, the auto working industry, and historically, they represented the major American manufacturers of General Motors, Ford, as well as Chrysler, though now it's become Stellantis with a new holding company behind them, and they make some of the most reliable cars out there. That's a joke because for decades, the most reliable cars have been Japanese, non-union made. I'm sure that's just coincidence. However, now with the union though, they historically spend a preposterous amount of money, helping get Democrats get elected, and consistently will always give them their endorsement and do rallies and get the vote out. And they usually get rewarded by government contracts, preferential treatment. Never forget when the White House under Biden had an EV summit. They invited General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler to talk about EVs. They didn't include Tesla. At the time, that fiscal quarter, when they had that meeting, Tesla had produced I believe, about 300,000 units of EVs, more than any other manufacturer, bar none. In fact, more than anyone else combined, everyone else combined. And yet, the White House snubbed Elon by not inviting him, and they had the audacity, and Biden was more coherent at the time. With a straight face, he said, General Motors is the head of innovation for electric vehicles, which is one of the most comical things, especially that fiscal period. GM made less than 50 EVs. And to this day, is still not one of the major manufacturers, though they're having more in the portfolio. It's comical and insulting. I kind of have a theory that that's when Elon really started to shift more into libertarian and more right-wing political thoughts. Because, again, the White House snubbed the biggest, most innovative EV company on the planet. And granted, I'm not a big fan of EVs. I love having 3 pedals, and manual transmission is the only thing I'll ever have with a gas engine. But at least appreciate the engineering and, achieving the unachievable when it comes to, starting an automotive company. And the White House snubbed it. Now, the new UAW president, Shawn Fain, is also friends with the Marxists. He has Bernie Sanders consistently speaking at all these rallies. And a lot of the union members are starting to wake up to the fact that these union leaders do not have your best interests at heart. One of my best metaphors when it comes to relationships, on average, between unions and management and all the community, or unions and management, is, UAW leadership is kind of like a divorce attorney. Once they get involved, they benefit from creating conflict. It's not just for their job and their big fees. And Lord knows the president of the UAW makes a pretty penny. Now, we'll go to the main comment section here, and this actually is on their Facebook page. And hilariously enough, and again, I follow pretty much everyone politically on the social media, so I can gain more perspective. That's why it popped up on my timeline, because I follow UAW, even if I don't agree with pretty much anything they do. But I do appreciate they do make Cadillac CT4V Blackwing and CT5V Blackwing, which are some of the very few good remaining GM products out there. I'd buy one if I won the lottery. A V8 with a stick shift, that's rare in and of itself. But enough of my ADHD. We'll get to the good old Facebook, or the Facebook rather, post. Now, looks like this is specifically, you can see here, is posted by the UAW. They say, quote, rally with the working class. They're not going to be there. Now they say, quote, rally with the working class to elect Harris Walz on Sunday, October 20th at 11:30 a.m. at UAW Local 66 in Allenstown, Pennsylvania, featuring UAW President Shawn Fain, Congressman Susan Wild, UAW Region 9A Director Brandon Mansilla, UAW Region Director 9 Daniel Vincent, and UAW members register here, which, not many people are. And again, we'll go to the comment section in New York Minute. Here you can see their, which I don't want to say again F- for marketing for the graphical design, but I'm actually surprised it's not. Well, I'm surprised it's not hammer and sickle behind there. Interestingly enough, it's not present there. And then you're gonna have you can see all of them right there, which again, the most ironic thing ever. The UAW, they elect these leaders, they get Biden in office and bans the most popular thing they sell. And again, some of these unions get profit sharing too. The best thing GM, Ford, or Chrysler ever made was a good old V8. They perfected that platform. It was a beautiful thing of engineering and craftsmanship. And yet, Biden's pushing EVs. It's a de facto ban on gas engines with the tailpipe emission standards, where basically you have a fleet of automotive vehicles. Well, you have to have a certain standards of emissions and fuel economy. And they've gotten those so ratcheted up, the only way you can possibly conceivably hit those standards is with an offset of major EV manufacturing. Again, it's not necessarily that these companies want to make them, this government's also pushing them, and there's a couple of people, there's about 18 people who want to buy them as well. I'm only partially kidding. Some people do want them, but again, a lot of people don't appreciate the government taking away the good old American muscle from them, as a Dodge Charger is becoming an EV. Don't get me started on that. But the most profitable thing the UAW has ever done is V8s, big SUVs and trucks, which is also best for the companies because those are the most profitable products. And they elected someone who's banning them and forced them to make EVs, which inherently EVs have less components to actually put together, less rudimentary or low-skill entry-level jobs. You're going to need a lot of software engineers, that's for sure. You're going to need a lot of high-tech component manufacturing, but there will be less jobs that are entry-level because of switching to EVs and less components, less complexity. So at the end of the day, I think the jobs, there's always a debate on, when you have automation, new technologies, are jobs lost or created? I believe at the end of the day, the jobs will be about the same, but there'll be different jobs. There'll be software engineering. And some employees, hopefully they do transition in terms of gaining a new skill set, but not all of them will. And the UAW is pushing for that. So that's why I suspect a lot of members, and I've actually kind of defaulted having family in Michigan. I have families on both sides of the aisle in terms of they work for the UAW to actually on the assembly lines as well as management. And yeah, the stories would, they'd be pretty fascinating. Oh, geez Louise. So unfortunately, it's like unless I'm logged in, it won't give you the like ratio. Let's see here. Give me a New York minute here. See if we get the like ratio here. Not so much. All right. Nevertheless, says, isn't the union a Democrat-backed organization? Are we the upside down world? LOL, don't think the Republicans like unions. I'm sure they'll be happy and paying less. I don't know. Just what I came to learn. Got 15 upvotes, 10 likes. Mark McKenzie says, Fain, again, that's the leader of the UAW, says, Fain needs to step down. He's entirely way too political. Plus, I bet majority of members disagree with him. Teamsters did right by not endorsing anyone, which will make politicians work for the endorsement. Fain is a cancer to the union. He doesn't represent me or many that I know. That got 49 likes and only 6 laughs. Jay Raphael says, every single person in the international needs to be flushed out. This swap is ranking, 29 likes. David Tier says, put it up for a membership vote. Who wants to support? Then do what your membership wants. They won't do that. Getting 44 likes. Oh. Really, Facebook? The Facebook doesn't want me to see most of the article because they want me to log in, or they want me to log in. Lame. But yeah, they're going to try to do that rally in one of the most ironic things ever. I'll pull it up really quick on the laptop here. Get a couple more contrarian statements, perhaps. Let's see here. Never be too upset when there's technical issues because that's a big part of my tech job. Let's see. Check your notifications. Oh, Facebook. Oh, well. Oh. So, again, they're trying to do this rally, and I don't think they're going to get support that they traditionally had. Because, again, the most profitable product they make is being made illegal and going away the dodo, thanks to the people they themselves push to get into office. When it comes to the actual workers on the ground, because, again, there are hard-working folks that work over there, too, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of them are going to be voting Trump, because Trump, again, every union member should hear this and hear it loud. Trump said, day one, he gets rid of the EV mandate. So you can go back to making the most profitable, awesome thing you make that consumers actually want to buy from you. And when you look at what consumers are buying for EVs, I mean, Tesla's winning by, a couple of millions of miles, leaps and bounds. I mean, about 18 people are buying Ford EVs. They love them. I'm only kidding. They have 19 people at the bottom. Maybe he's actually a bit. But Ford also lost $132,000 per EV sold Q3? That's not great. Not good. I suspect they'll eventually make it a profitability. But again, it's not good for the profit sharing members of the union. I think this is going to be one of the biggest times where you see the UAW. Again, the leaderships, they're always going to be, leftist, Marxist. But the actual union members, people paying the dues to pay for Sean's $300,000 salary. The actual working class, they're going to be worried about inflation. They're going to be worried about manufacturing jobs that they have not being, relocated or eliminated. I suspect, let me know in the comments if you think differently. I think the actual average union member, they're going to vote Trump. But let me know in the comments because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.